Hi, hello. How are we all doing today? Whether it's the morning, the evening, middle of the day for you, I hope you're having a fantastic day and a fantastic week. If you already know me, you will know my name is Catherine. I am a business English teacher and I work on interview practice and practical vocabulary for the workplace. If you are new here and that sounds like something you need help with, make sure you subscribe and like this video. I create videos for intermediate to advanced level students. I did a video previously about common verbs and the prepositions that go alongside them. For example, listen to, concentrate on. However, that video was more tailored towards everyday language. So things you come across every day. This video will be verbs and their prepositions that you may come across daily in your professional work environment. Believe in, to believe in something or someone. So unless you are talking directly to someone and saying, I believe you, we always use believe in. I believe in the success of this project. I believe in my team. We believe in something. If you want to compliment a team member, you could say something along the lines of, I believe in your ability to complete this project on time. I believe in your customer service skills. I was talking to my boss the other day and my boss said, I believe in you. You've got this. I believe in you. It's like I trust you. I know you're reliable. To cope with. You often see cope with used in informal conversation. For example, I cannot cope with this. I cannot cope with how naughty my child is. I cannot cope with this movie. It's too long and complicated. It means I cannot deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't have the patience or the time. However, if you were in a situation at work where you were overwhelmed by the amount of work you were given, or maybe you've taken on extra work from another colleague, you may find that you are finding it difficult to cope with the amount of work you have been given, cope with. Or maybe you are training the new team members and there's too many of them and they're all at different levels. You can say, I cannot cope with the amount of people I need to train. You can, of course, use this as a positive as well to reinforce something or encourage someone. I am sure I will be able to cope with this. I'm sure I can do it. I'm sure I can deal with this. I want to take on more clients this quarter. I'm sure I can cope with it. You have the skills to do something. Reminds me of. Whether you are saying, I am reminded of, or it reminds me of, we always use of. Oh, this reminds me of another project I was working on. You remind me of a friend of mine. That reminds me of an idea I had yesterday. Something reminds you of something else. Watching you talk to clients reminds me of a time blah, 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 reminds me of or reminded of. I am reminded of. Apologize for or apologize to. Apologize can have two prepositions depending on your meaning. So if you are apologizing to someone, we use to. I want to apologize to you for the reports being late. I want to apologize to you for my mistake last week. To someone. However, when apologizing for a mistake or misunderstanding, we say for. I want to apologize for last week's misunderstanding. I would like to apologize for the incorrect calculation that we gave you. You're apologizing for something or someone, but you apologize to a person. To consist of means to be made up of or include or contain. So if I was to say, the team consists of 3 software developers and 1 graphic designer. The team includes 3 software developers and 1 graphic designer. This new recipe I'm trying consists of potatoes and cream. It has in it. My work today consists of weekly report writing and sending emails. meaning my work today is only going to be these things. These things are planned in my day. Consist of. Associate with. We use the word associate when we want to talk about something that is close to or connected to something else in some way. It isn't necessarily as close as a friend or a partner. So, for example, if you have associates, they are people you know or have a connection with, but are not your friends. I have an associate at work. It means to know someone at work, but not exactly be close with them. You just know them. If you see a business is in association with, it doesn't mean the businesses are the same or partnered, just that they are connected in some way. Sometimes the businesses don't want to disclose how they are connected. For example, do you remember Fitbits? They were the original smartwatch before Apple Watch was invented. And Fitbit was in association with Google because Google owned the brand. It wasn't their idea. Fitbit had a completely different team, completely different CEO to Google, but Google owned Fitbit. So, in association with Google. Google was the parent company for a while. So, it's not a partnership, it's an association. But as you've heard me say again and again, we always say associate or associated with. You can also use associate with in the negative sense. I don't associate myself with football fans. That means I don't like to be friends with football fans. I don't associate myself with British people. That means I don't want to be friends with or hanging around British people. I don't like to be connected to them. So think of it as connected to, associated with. We always deal with something. Deal with a person, deal with a situation, deal with something. I deal with a customer. Or past tense, I dealt with a customer. I am dealing with the accounts. We have a problem with the software, but don't worry, I will deal with it. Used in the negative is also simple and stays the same, deal with. I don't want to deal with project A today. Can you take over for me? I don't want to deal with this. Deal with. So what I wanted to focus on today was confused about. But as I was writing my script, I realized we do use confused with sometimes. So let me explain. Confused about is typically one thing. Confused about an idea or concept or situation. I am really confused about this figure on the report. I am confused about client A. I am confused about what you said in the meeting. However, confused with is when you are confused with the difference between something. So two things or more than two things, you're confused with the difference. So for example, I often confuse Sarah with Maggie. So I get the two people confused. I forget their names and I mix them up. I often confuse in January with on January, two things. I'm confused between the difference. I'm confused about the difference between the two. Notice the structure is I often confuse subject with subject. So I often confuse English with German. For the most part, use confused about. I am confused about. He was confused about. The client was confused about. They are confused about. To rely on someone is to trust them, to expect them to provide, to expect them to do what you ask them. We always use rely and on, rely on. Even in past tense, relied on. I know I can rely on Sam to send me the report by Friday. I wouldn't rely on the weather in England, it's always raining. You can rely on me, I am trustworthy. Or let's try a negative in the past. I shouldn't have relied on my friend. Last one today, thank you for bearing with me. I know it was a longer video. So to participate in, participate in. First of all, before I go through this, if you learned something already, please don't forget to click like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. So I am participating in, or I will participate in. We always use in. I would like to participate in Wednesday's Zoom call. You never participate on, and you never participate with when you're talking about doing something, being involved in something. However, if you want to talk about the person that is participating with you, you can use with. So I want to participate in a marathon. Sam will participate with me in the marathon on Sunday. I want to participate in Wednesday's Zoom call. Let's use that example. On Wednesday's Zoom call, Sam and Sarah will participate with you. So we use participate with when talking about the people involved, but we use participate in when we're talking about the action, the adventure, the thing that you are going to do. So that's all today. Like I said at the beginning, go and check out the more casual preposition and verb video that I've done. Don't forget to like this if you've learned something today, or maybe comment down below if there's something you want me to help you with. What can I make a video on that will help you? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next video. Have a good week. Bye.